Really interesting game that's coming up here. Zhang Beiwen against Akane Yamaguchi. Here's the route that they had through to those semi-finals. Carolina Marin, of course, the Olympic and world champion in the top half, still going strong, but we're concentrating on that bottom match. Zhang against Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi was made to work really hard in that quarter-final last night. That match went over the hour mark. Be interesting to see whether there's any effects of that coming into today's game. Zhang Beiwen also working really hard. Two really tight games against Jindapol, the number 6 seed here. But in the bottom half, it's gone according to seeding. So it is the 2nd seed, Yamaguchi, playing Zhang Beiwen, the 4th seed. Umpires and linesmen just coming out onto court, just waiting for the players to come out.
Please welcome from the United States, Beiwen Zhang, and from Japan, Akane Yamaguchi.
Well, Steen, I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, me too.
Zhang Beiwen, a really interesting player. She's had some real ups and downs in her career, but she seems to be running into a bit of form at the moment, so this could be really interesting. And this pair have got history as well. Yamaguchi there, one of the brightest young stars in the world at the moment, I would say. Still only 19 years of age, that's incredible. 3 years since she won her first Super Series. That's some statistic.
And became the youngest ever winner of a Super Series title, and the first ever Japanese to win on home soil.
Yeah, what a place to do it for her. Well, Yamaguchi confirming 19 years of age. Current ranking is the highest ranking, actually, 6th in the world. As you can see, quite short, but wow, is she strong. And her movement's improved so much in the last 18 months, I have to say. One of the most exciting talents in the world at the moment. As I say, 19 years of age, already 4 Super Series titles. Wins over world and Olympic champion Carolina Marin. And there's a route through, as we say. She's had her battles here. 75 minutes last night to beat Chung, the up-and-coming Hong Kong player. But at 19 years of age, she's already got a lot of experience and used all that experience to come through there at the end in 3 games. Zhang Beiwen, ranked 14 in the world at the moment, 26 years of age, slightly taller. She's been as high as 12 in the world, as you can see. She's actually born in China, but that doesn't tell the whole story, because she had a number of years playing for Singapore, and in 2012 moved with her family out to Las Vegas, trains at the Badminton Academy there in Las Vegas, and now plays under the USA flag. Her route through, won all 3 in straight sets, but as I say, that quarter-final was a really tense affair against Jindapol. Play with a lot of experience now, but as I say, she's had a checkered career, I would say. How do you see this one, Steen?
Yeah, as we can see here with the head-to-heads, Yamaguchi leads 2-1, but Zhang Beiwen won the last encounter in French Open, so I think we're up for an exciting match. Zhang Beiwen has been slightly more convincing in this tournament, as far as I see it. Yamaguchi's results are a little bit, they're good results, but I would have expected her to come through a little bit easier than has actually been the case, so I think it's going to be a really exciting match.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Akane Yamaguchi, Japan. And on my left, Beiwen Zhang, United States of America. Beiwen Zhang to serve. Love hole. Play. One, love. Service over. One, all.
That's something I think we'll see a lot of in this game, Steen. Zhang Beiwen, she loves those slice shots from the rear court. Has really good precision with them. Her killer shots in many ways.
And two technically very, very strong players. It's not often that Zhang has 12 centimeters height advantage in her matches. Oh, great shot.
There we see it
Good
again.
Deception.
Yeah, she loves those slices from the rear court. Holds them just an extra fraction of a second. Breaks her opponent's footwork.
What a rally. Excellent play. Good deceptions from both players, and the ability to, under pressure, produce really, really high quality shots. Oh.
It's over. 3, all.
14, 12.
Yeah, nice change of pace.
4,
I think Yamaguchi
3.
stayed quite high in the court there, looking for the favoured slices from her opponent, but put the smash in for variety.
It's over.
Very, very quick release of the shots there from Yamaguchi. Makes it really hard to judge it. The players use, of course, body movements to try and predict the placement of the shots, and the quicker you release it, the shorter time you have to judge where the next shot is going.
It's over. 5, 4.
15, 13.
6.
Good control.
Yeah, call on the line. Yamaguchi had a second look at the lines judge there, but
16, 13.
one on the line. Just force that. To be honest, the last couple of points are a little bit what's been happening to her in this this tournament so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
Just seems to be a slight lack of concentration, giving away more easy points than she does when she's really on her game. Be interesting to see if she can tighten up in this match tonight, because I think she'll have to.
5.
I think so too, and I think that's what the scoreline from the previous matches have sort of revealed, that there's perhaps a bit more mistakes than we saw, at least in the period from after the Olympics. I think that she came out of the Olympics, lost in the Olympics, of course, to a fellow Japanese Okuhara, but I still feel Yamaguchi, she gained a lot from it. She was really, really fit and won the Korea Super Series and the Denmark Super Series, and by that becoming only the third non-Chinese player to win consecutive Super Series tournaments.
6, 7.
I'm not sure that her form is quite as good at the moment. But of course, it could also be due to jet lag flying into Europe from Japan. Of course, focusing a lot on the Premier Series in next week coming up in All England.
7-all. Service over. 8-7.
It seems incredible to me, Steen, that it's it's 4.5 years since.
Since you won the Japan Open.
Well, no, yeah, 3 years for that. But I mean, Zhang Beiwen has been out of Singapore for 5 years, 4.5 years. That's incredible to me, because she actually had a very good career in Singapore. But since she's come out, I mean, she's had whole years where, as I understand it, she went into the academy there, and there was some financial problems with the academy. She had a whole year where she couldn't play any international events.
Yeah.
Then she came back and got right up the rankings again. Then she had the problem that she didn't get a passport in time to try and qualify for the Olympics. So stepped back from tournaments again. She came over and played Bundesliga in Germany. She's had a really up and down career, I have to say.
Yeah, she has. Probably having to manage a lot of it by herself without the support of coaches. I don't think we'll see a coach here in the interval. She's actually playing for a Danish club as well, the Danish league. Oh, good shot.
But I have to say, it's often the way with some of the Chinese players that do come away from the Chinese system, and obviously she was originally, learnt the game in China, went on to Singapore on the exchange program, played for Singapore, but when they come out, they actually become very strong mentally, because they have to learn to look after themselves. So it's sort of sink or swim. And there's some very, very good examples of players that have done that have come out, grown up, and learnt their trade, if you like, and their technique in China, and then not made it into the Chinese team, come away, and almost have to learn the game again and learn how to look after themselves, and it makes them very, very strong mentally athletes. Zhu Weiwen would be a good example. Pi Hongyan, another one. We reached the interval. Nothing to choose so far, and neither player really dominating this game so far. As you predicted, no coach for the USA player. Plenty of attention for Yamaguchi.
Yeah. And as you say, and this coming out of China and having to manage yourself and so on, that really sort of tests your character as a player. And I think you mentioned two of the players that have been successful there, and they've done really well in their careers. But it really is a test, and it also shows how much that being given attentions in Germany, where Xu Haiwen played, and Pyongyang in France, also helps the player develop. It's a pity she was taking that really early.
Yeah.
Zhang Beiwen.
Yeah, right choice. Just missed on the execution.
She's also playing a little bit of a different year schedule, Zhang Beiwen, because I mean, she's living in Las Vegas in the US, but I don't think she's there for a lot of the time. It'll be hard to get sparring players in the US in Las Vegas. She would have to go to probably Los Angeles or Anaheim to get good male sparring. So she more or less travels most of the year, and of course that's expensive as well, but she's probably closer to playing sort of a tennis schedule than most of the other players.
30-12.
Yep. There's no funding available from US Badminton. She's not on the USA program due to the fact she hasn't yet qualified for a passport. So she is. There is some funding now available apparently through the Las Vegas Academy, but on the whole, has to be self-sufficient. So every result counts for her. As you say, she's played some league badminton in Germany. She's played some league badminton in Denmark.
Yeah, and then 2 matches in a week in Denmark, and then you practice 1 week there with the players there, and it really tests your character. You have to arrange the practice yourself. There's nobody who's telling you when or where to practice and get you shuttles or anything. You have to do it all by yourself. Won Grand Prix gold earlier, Zhang Beiwen, the US Open in 2014.
Oh, that's a great shot, great technique.
14.
I wouldn't say she was 100% in balance when she takes this. We'll see it here. But lovely control of the racket to guide it down the line.
That's one of the things with Akane Yamaguchi. I mean, being this 5'1" in height, she's often under pressure. She's often in positions where she's stretched to the limit, and that means that she's used to playing from those situations. So she's not under as much pressure as any other player would be. So sometimes your opponent can sort of misjudge it and say, okay, I've got a really good shot here, which is just normal to Yamaguchi because that's what she's always exposed to.
And I think that's particularly true in that round the head corner. I actually think she's probably more dangerous from that corner, even though she's off balance quite often. I actually think she's more dangerous from there. It reminds me a little bit in that corner of Mia Rodina.
Yeah.
Plays a lot of shots a little bit out of balance, but plays them with really great accuracy. There we go again. This time it's the crossed onto the line.
Dina, the Indonesian, and later on representing the Netherlands, she was able to bend her back to almost incredible positions in that backhand corner.
That's out. Well, a lot of errors from both sides at the moment. Neither player really settled into a routine, but I think that's probably a sign that they are a little bit worried about each other's skill levels.
Yeah.
Both of them guilty of trying to push a little bit too hard at times here.
And you have to try and find that fine line where you put your opponent under exactly enough pressure to control the rally, and then overdoing it, making errors.
That's a lovely net. A lot of spin and effect onto that shuttle there.
17-16.
Oh, look at that shuttle spin in there. Forces the error. Easy put away.
It's gone long.
Yeah, interesting on the toss of the coin at the beginning. Yamaguchi chose this end first. I think the players do feel it's a little bit more difficult from this side. It's a little bit quicker. Yeah, proved your point there, I think. Just forcing a little bit.
Shot. Again. Very good accuracy from the backhand side of Yamaguchi. And now look at her service, her forehand, high forehand service. It's just so beautiful to watch. Totally automatic. That's how you do it.
It's just drifting out.
19-18.
Perhaps one of the situations where the bigger experience that I deem Yamaguchi to have could help her to find exactly the right level.
Missed one.
Certainly not that one.
That's a telling statement you've just made there, though, isn't it, Steen? She's almost 8 years younger, and you're saying she's the more experienced one in these situations.
Yeah, she's played tournaments at a bigger level, participated at the Olympics, won Super Series. Zhang Beiwen has been in one Super Series final previously in French Open.
That was a super shot, though, there.
19.
Zhang Beiwen who gets the first chance at this. Game point 2019.
Over. 20 all.
There was a second error on that shot.
Yeah, it's unusual actually. She likes that. That's one of her favourites, and she hasn't made it yet. She's missed, as you say, a couple of errors on that shot. She won't be happy with that. Again, got herself in good position. Took it early.
Placed.
Great precision, great control.
21-20.
21-20. This time it's Yamaguchi who gets a chance. Game point this time for the Japanese player.
Shot.
And a good rally. And Beiwen there played the percentages. Centre smash, return of serve, no chance of making an error. Couple of clears, giving herself a metre up the sideline, and then even this one would have landed probably 40-50 centimetres in. Played with real margins and really kept the pressure on her opponent. Good play. That's going out. Well,
that's a bad mistake. That was
it is.
nowhere near making the line.
So, Zhang Beiwen this time with a game point. Going short this time, mixing the serve up. But that's not the place to go, as we've been saying. Flat into that round the head corner. That's, for me, is Yamaguchi's strongest corner.
A lot of deception on the service return from Yamaguchi. Good shot. Beautiful cross there from Yamaguchi. The only corner that Zhang Beiwen wasn't really alert to.
Second game point for Yamaguchi. Yeah, takes it this time. 24-22. It's Yamaguchi who takes the first game. In what you would say is have to describe as a patchy first game there. Both players feeling each other out a little bit.
They were going neck to neck from 12-10 or something like that. The lead was never more than 1 point. Missed opportunity there for Zhang Beiwen. Still 2 games to go if she wants to qualify for the final.
Is this a disadvantage for her now, having no one just to bounce ideas off and just to, even if it's not a coach, just someone out there just to settle her down, you think?
Yeah, it's difficult to say. I mean, in general, I think it is a little bit of a disadvantage not having a coach there. But then again, I mean, sometimes my experience is that we as coaches sometimes overdo it a little bit. So we try to convey too much information to the players, and while they're contemplating what it all meant, the match is going on. So I think it would be an advantage to have a coach that really knew you well and knew which buttons to push in situations like this, losing a narrow first game. So it's really important to get a good start here in the second. Otherwise, it's a long way to the goal line.
Yeah, a little bit quicker from this end, as we've said a few times already.
Love.
It's not the best return from this side.
Oi, totally miss it.
To love. Service over. 1-2.
Not really satisfied about that missed shot. Yamaguchi trying it out 3 or 4 times afterwards. That's going to go long as well.
Yeah.
Service over.
And it's going to be difficult for Zhang Beiwen now, because if the players notice that the opponent has trouble hitting the baseline with accuracy, they're going to move half a step closer to the front court, trying to control that.
Yeah, I mean, Beiwen's made a slow start to this game, but Yamaguchi, 2 poor errors again, really.
Yeah.
There was no pressure on that, no pressure again
3.
there.
She's frustrated.
Yeah, she's definitely not on a game in this week so far.
Well, that was better. That
4.
it wasn't almost a pick up. It was more or less controlled drop shot, low drop shot. Very accurate there.
That's good play. Good play.
Over. 4-all.
She made that footwork look very simple there, but really, really good play.
Over.
It's a game of errors so far.
4.
Neither player really getting into a good rhythm. I think they're both really, really worried about the skill levels of their opponent. They're both guilty of just forcing it a little bit in terms of margins.
Yeah. They know that if they're a little bit inaccurate, the opponents will punish them. So rather than sort of giving the other player self-confidence by scoring on you, you might as well try and play it with the accuracy needed.
6-5.
That's a good shot, better control. I think she went cross there as much as anything else to control the length of it.
Yeah. And also, if you play with the drift, it's still much more controllable from the front court than if you have to play clear from the back court.
Yeah, good point.
Wow.
That's a big error again.
Yeah, it's one of those all or nothing shots that we've discussed.
that's where I think she probably is still learning the game a little
Yeah.
bit, because she's got a 2-point advantage.
It's over.
She's got, she's got a reasonably simple shot there. She doesn't need to play the line. She can just
8.
keep the pressure on her opponent, stretch that to 3 points, and and you're building. But that easy error just led her opponent back in, really.
It's also a sign that we have two offensive-minded players on court here.
Oh, that's good pick up, good control from a very deep position.
Over. 9.
Strange, really. She's been there twice. She's been really early to take the cross and missed it there. She took it really late and made it.
That's maybe that's the problem. It's long, yeah.
It's over. 7. 9.
Service over. 7, 17.
8. 9.
Well, it was only 2 points in it in the first game. I still have this feeling that Zhang Beiwen, she can't afford in the long run to give these easy points away to Akane Yamaguchi. It's all square now. Yamaguchi reached the semi-final here in German Open last year.
19, 7.
It was of course an even stronger tournament last year because it was part of the
Service over.
Olympic qualification period.
10.
Yes, and she
9.
lost to the now retired Wang Shixian, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great match as well. But that was the interesting thing is that Wang Shixian was a little bit more content playing more defensive playing style, and that number of errors that we've seen today, that would have been lethal
Over.
had Wang Shixian been playing.
Error in the score there. It's actually 10-all now. There we go. Corrections being made. It's 10-all. Still
10.
nothing to choose. No big
all.
runs of points. Nothing to choose between these two. And that's probably also why it's a little bit of a nervy affair. Yeah, again it's the error out of the back of the court from this slightly
Interval.
quicker end. And it's Yamaguchi takes the slightest of advantage into the mid-game interval at 11-10. Yeah. Zhang Beiwen needs to sort it out for herself, but certainly I think this is a disadvantage now, not having anyone there to talk about the length and the speed from this end, and just to settle her down. Focus her. What are you trying to do?
And especially since the match is so close.
Yeah.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
Yamaguchi, though, actually it's quite fascinating, because if you look at a lot of the scores in her matches, even when she's in top form and everything, she actually thrives on these close sets.
Yeah.
She loves 20-all. I mean, the number of times she wins games where it goes to 20-all and
11,
goes to the setting situation is quite
Three.
amazing.
I think she loves the competition, and I've never seen her sort of hold back when it's close, and if you go in with that attitude, I think you win a lot more matches than you lose
Great
in the long
slice.
run.
Over.
Great shot from Beiwen there.
11.
That's what we know her for, those quick slices from the rear court, bringing the shuttle down really steeply. But as you say, Yamaguchi, she's a player, isn't she? I mean, she loves it. Controlled it better this time. Beiwen
12.
finding the rear court, finding the
11.
line.
Cut to 20 seconds or to 20 seconds.
Good shot. she's struggling a little bit at times, Yamaguchi, to find the correct length on her shot.
Yeah, nice flick. Gets it in behind her opponent. Finds the net cord.
But look how close she was of getting to that, Yamaguchi. Had it not taken the net cord, she would have been there.
She was there. She was there. And that's something, I mean, over the 3 years we've been watching her, I mean, her movement's improved so much.
Yeah.
And her physical condition as well.
But definitely, and I think that was very visible after the Olympics. The worrying thing is that when you work so hard because of the relatively short reach you have, how many years are you able to play and keep injuries away?
13.
We're back to 13 all.
Yeah.
Still nothing to choose. But you're right, but sometimes with smaller players they get less injuries actually.
Yeah.
I mean, shorter levers, but you're right, they do have to work harder physically. Although, you know, we went through that phase with ladies singles, didn't we, where everybody was looking for the tall, lean athletes.
Yeah.
And we've come away from that because some of the top players in the world today are not so tall.
No,
Infanon.
there's a good diversity amongst the top players, and it just, to me, it's one of the beauties about badminton that you can win in an awful lot of ways.
Yep.
We've seen players coming forward with exceptional technical skills, and sometimes you've got a little bit better time to admire them in women's singles because you really get a whole display. We saw Intanon coming forward as the first super technician, in my opinion.
Yep.
Challenging the more lengthy players, if you could say so, with Wang Yihan, Li Shurui, Tina Baun back then.
Yep.
Serve is over.
So there, Yamaguchi just got a little bit of an advantage here.
Yeah.
16.
But you're right, I mean, there's great variety in the ladies singles game at the top at the moment.
We also have like Sun Yu
Yep.
doing well at the moment.
Yep.
I think she's 180, but at least maybe 181 or
Yep.
182.
Yep.
Serve is over.
No, there's in terms of physiques, there's great variety in the ladies singles game and a great variety of techniques as well.
It also means that the draw has a lot to say because you have favorite opponents and opponents that you're not so happy to see in your part of the draw. Oh, that's wide.
Yeah, just pushed it
Serve
wide
is
again.
over. 15.
I mean, players also have holes that they prefer. I mean,
Yeah.
to me this week it just looks as though Yamaguchi's never really settled into this hole at all. Really unusual for her to make as many mistakes as she has in the matches she's played so far this week. And that's a great net again.
Great touch.
Super spinning net
18.
shot.
15.
Here it comes.
That's lovely. Didn't even take it that early, really. But was confident that she could find the tape with it.
Slipping away from her.
Yeah, lack of conviction wasn't there in that shot.
Yeah, and I think we saw it a little bit in also talking about coaching and non-coaching. Around 13 points or so. What was the score? 13 all, where she got a little bit annoyed with herself. I mean, she was still very much in it. Now it's difficult. Oh, that was a lucky net court.
Well, she needed it. She needed it. She's got the serve back. Chance to compose herself, have a little think.
19.
The problem now is that Yamaguchi, she can see the goal line. She can almost touch it, and there's no doubt she's going to play hard now.
Oh, that's a good read. Didn't let her get the net shot in this time. Stayed higher up the court, didn't retreat.
19.
Good shot.
Oh.
Good control. She was under so much pressure.
But that's the point we were making. I mean, you think you've got your opponent off balance, you just relax the fraction, but for Yamaguchi, it's just service as usual. I mean, that was a super shot, out of position, but the racket just rescues her.
3 match points to qualify for the final here in German Open.
That's good play from Beiwen. Again, played with good margins, something that she hasn't always done during this game. Kept the pressure on her opponent and eventually got the mistake. But it's still going to be tough. Still 2 to save.
Wide. Ooh, she took it.
It's a good pickup.
Oi!
Great rally. Rally of the match. Rally of the match so far. Both players had chances.
She was practically out of the tournament.
It's amazing how match points focus your attention, no?
Wow.
19, 20.
I'm pretty certain one of her shots would have gone wide early in that rally, and that last missed shot from, or retrieved shot, that was amazing.
It's in. It's in.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's Yamaguchi who goes through. 2 very tight games there. High skill level at times from both players, but a lot of unforced errors there as well.
Match won by
She'll be looking to step her game up tomorrow for the final, that's for sure. We don't know who she'll be playing there yet. There's confirmation of the score. 24-22, 21-19, 2 tight games. 36 minutes of play. Here it is. Just a little hold, a little flick into the rear court. Left probably more in hope than judgment by Zhang Beiwen. So it's Akane Yamaguchi who goes through to tomorrow's final. As I say, we'll find out later who she'll play. I'm sure in her mind she'll probably be thinking it'll be Carolina Marin, world and Olympic champion, who's due to play later in the second semi-final. Some images from the week here. Well, confirmation of what's happened so far and what's to come. Started with a great mixed doubles there. Just seen the ladies singles, and next it'll be the men's singles. Another interesting match coming up. Takuma Ueda against Chu Ten Chen. Here's how they got there. And as usual, Ueda having to work extremely hard for all of his matches.